Asanteni sana, tunaweza keti, we can take our seats, and thank you for the Principal Secretary in charge of Economic Planning, Dr. Boniface Makoha, who is also standing in for my colleague, John Mbadi, the Chair of KIPPRA, Professor Paul Washana, KIPPRA board members, the Acting Executive Director, Dr. Elda Onsomu, Director General of the Kenya School of Government, Professor Nura Mohammed, national government officials here present, and also county government, our collaborators, the youth, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great honor to address you today at the 8th KIPPRA Annual Regional Conference, and therefore I want to extend my warm greetings to all delegates from both the national and county governments, intergovernment organizations, the private sector, and development partners. I particularly want to acknowledge and appreciate the presence of youth representatives from universities, TVET institutions, and young innovators from community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, and civil society. Your voices are central to this dialogue, and your contribution are the foundation of our efforts. Therefore, I want to thank KIPPRA for putting, this conference together. And of course, I also want to thank the Kenya School of Government for remaining loyal and patriotic, to host this particular dialogue. The theme of this conference, Pathways to Future Jobs and Unlocking Opportunities for the Youth, is both timely and critical. It aligns strongly with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and Kenya's 4th Medium-Term Plan 4, which recognizes the youth as key drivers of inclusive and sustainable economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, we acknowledge the reality and promise of Kenya's youth budget, a rapidly growing and dynamic population whose potential, if harnessed effectively, can significantly transform our economy. However, we are equally aware of the existing gaps in skills, employment, access to capital, and inclusion that continue to hinder many young people from participating in national development. As a ministry, we have intensified our efforts and made notable progress in implementing youth-centered interventions that reflect the core principles of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda: equity, inclusion, and economic empowerment from the grassroots. Our programs are designed not just to support the youth, but to empower them as active agents in shaping Kenya's future. In Kenya today, we have over 400,000 young people who graduate annually from our institutions of higher learning, including universities and TVETs. While this reflects the growing reach of our education system, it also underscores the agency to create meaningful and sustainable employment pathways. Ladies and gentlemen, the government has implemented targeted interventions to prepare young people to transition from training to earning. These interventions focus on capacity building, supporting enterprise, expanding access to opportunities, and fostering innovation. In response to the rising demand for employment and income security, we have introduced the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement Program, a program that we are working in partnership with the World Bank. This transformative initiative targets 800,000 vulnerable youth aged 18 to 29, extending to 35 for youth with disabilities across all 47 counties. Nyota offers a multidimensional approach that includes entrepreneurship training, access to credit, mentorship, and support for transition into sustainable employment. It also emphasizes the empowerment of marginalized and at-risk youth, ensuring that no one is left behind in our national transformation journey. Through Nyota, we are not only addressing the unemployment challenge, but also laying the foundation for long-term resilience, innovation, and inclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, to support enterprise development through the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, the ministry has disbursed Kenya shillings 1.24 billion in loans to more than 95,000 youth entrepreneurs, enabling them to launch and grow business at the grassroots level. We have operationalized youth empowerment centers across the country, providing 1 million youth with access to career guidance, digital access, and startup incubation. In addition, we have identified and nurtured 5,200 young talents in sports, creative arts, and leadership, while 3,915 youth have been engaged in green jobs through conservation, afforestation, and circular economy initiatives. These interventions are not only creating livelihoods, but also laying the foundation for a more inclusive and resilient youth economy. Through the Presidential Award Program, we target to train 43,000 youths in leadership and governance and enroll 32,100 in the President's Program. And I also want to emphasize here that this President's Award Program, we now have a directive which has also been sent to the Public Service Commission and all government agencies to give priority to the youth who are awarded gold, silver, and bronze. And therefore, while employing, while recruiting in all agencies, those who will have been awarded those categories will be given priority. Through a collaboration with the TVET ecosystem, the government aims to bridge the gap between industry and training and transform the labor market ecosystem to support the youth. In the creative economy sector, Kenya has earmarked expanding infrastructure for arts and culture, including establishing Studio Mashinani in counties. In fact, we should be launching this in the next few weeks so that we can be able to provide more opportunities for those youth who want to record their films, they want to record their music and whatever it is. So the Studio Mashinani will be available very soon. And training also media practitioners in performing and creative arts. These initiatives are also targeting to nurture young talent to thrive in music, theater, graphic design, and other creative industries. The operationalization of the HousNet talent search for youth in the creative economy is set to create more opportunities. As I conclude, we continue to focus on achieving our national vision where no one is left behind, and I urge all stakeholders, including government ministries, county governments, departments, agencies, the private sector, civil society, organizations, and international partners to continue collaborating in creating a robust framework for youth employment. Let us invest in our youth today so that we can all enjoy a prosperous Kenya in the years to come. I wish also to congratulate again KIPPRA, the National Treasury and Economic Planning, the State Department for Economic Planning, and other partners for working together in holding this conference. I'm optimistic that the deliberations from this important engagement will support government policy on job creation for our youth. I want to add that the government of Kenya and His Excellency the President has been very forthright in terms of looking at strategic interventions that will inspire and create opportunities for the young people of our country. As a ministry, we are working on an enabling environment in terms of policy. So we have a youth policy and bill, which we are reviewing. And basically, this is an effort to update our legal and policy environment to the realities of today. So we are working on reviewing the policy. We've already been working on the creative economy bill, which has also been introduced in Parliament. We are also looking at the sports policy and bill so that it can be inclusive and also be updated according to the realities of today. away from the policy environment, there are other, opportunities that exist in government. For example, the program on special economic zones, which is creating new frontiers of investment in Naivasha, in Dongokundu, in Mombasa, where already the government has already signed with Afrexim, to create opportunities for investment. Those are also key areas, that create opportunities for our young people to be employed, but also to get more experiences to realize their potential. We also have a rural industrialization program through the county aggregation and industrial parks, which basically focuses on value addition and creating employment at the lower level in the rural areas. We have also a big program within the Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs of seafarers, where we also have a lot of opportunities for the youth of our country to work in the marine sector. And in this area, we also have other agreements that the government has done with other countries, where every year seafarers are recruited. And of course, they have to go through a training at Bandari Maritime Academy so that they can be certified. We have other programs, the labor mobility, which is being coordinated by our sister Minister of Labor, and the Minister of Youth is supporting. Through the Youth Fund, we are supporting stipends, we are supporting startups so that those young people who participate in this program, when they are employed outside the country, we also support them through the Youth Enterprise Fund to meet the basic costs. We also have a very robust program on digital space, which I think has also been outlined by my colleague in his speech. But basically, we want to use technology and take advantage of technology to also create opportunities of young people. You are aware we have Konza City, which is a very innovative investment strategy for government. We have opportunities in agribusiness, in housing, and many more. Basically, these are opportunities that we want to ask young people to take advantage of, and especially on matters technology. Technology and our online platforms are the areas where we dialogue. And I think what I want to say here is that let us be very positive with technology. There's a lot of investment. If you compare Kenya with the other countries, you will find that we have really advanced in terms of creating technology opportunities for our young people. And therefore, it is my wish that the youth of our country can take advantage of these online platforms, to first of all, better their experiences, share knowledge, participate in innovation, and also look at online jobs. It is also not very good when these online platforms are used negatively. When you post something negative online, you are basically telling the world, and basically that could also ruin your profile going forward. I know there are many organizations when they are recruiting and they are doing background checks. It is no longer just the referee, where you say my referee is Professor Boniface Makoha. They also go back to your credentials, what you've been posting. And I know people who have lost opportunities because of their online attitude. And what I want to say is that I'm aware that there are many challenges facing our youth in this country, but there are also opportunities. So this conference, what this conference is also doing is connecting you with opportunities, because in this conference, we have many speakers, we have many agencies, we have also many areas that are being shared where youth can be able to benefit. And therefore, this connection with opportunities requires proactivity, so that when there's a youth fund, then it is for you also to look for information. When you know we have a creative economy space which we are developing, and in fact, on June 5th, we will be hosting a forum where we bring the American creative economy investors so that we can also discuss and see how we can leverage on that opportunity for them to also invest in our country. And when we do all this, we expect that positively you will also capture these opportunities. The professors who have introduced themselves here, the chair, the PS, madam here who is the CEO, they were also youth at some point, and therefore the matters youth is not rocket science. You know, many people here have experienced this in different areas. And as a government, we also would like to commit to work with young people and also to provide these opportunities so that we can then transform our country with the youth participation. Youth is a big constituency and we cannot leave them behind. And that is why in the next few months, we'll be rolling out the national youth elections so that those who would wish to mentor themselves on matters leadership, they can have a platform. But in my view, the youth is a whole human being. We have a youth who would wish to be politicians one day, maybe. There are others who would wish to be in different sectors of our economy. And therefore, what the government is providing is an enabling environment, you know, for all of you to realize your potential. And realizing your potential also requires that you are also proactive and alert. So I don't want to say a lot, but because I'm also in charge of 3 topics: the youth affairs, creative economy, and sports. I also want to say that in sports, we are also investing. Right now, we are investing in infrastructure across the country. We have the Talanta City Stadium, which is coming up. It's a legacy project, currently employing over 3,300 youth every day who work 24 hours. We also have other infrastructure across the country we're working on. We have 37, academies that we are setting up across the country for basically to harness the talents from that level. And therefore, we are looking at the youth across the board. So those of us who wish to participate in sports, we are there. And in fact, in August, we are hosting CHAN. And next 2027, we are also hosting the Africa Cup of Nations. And therefore, we have provision, for all sectors of our youth. So I would wish that this conference, in fact, my wish is that this conference then becomes the catalyst within which our youth will be able to make connections with opportunity, but also psychologically, work together to ensure that we become very proactive as a country and we harness the opportunities that exist in our country. Kwa hivyo mimi sina marefu sana, lakini nimeshukuru sana. Nimeshukuru sana kwa KIPPRA na shule yetu ya serikali kwa kuweza kuandaa hafla hii, kuwaleta wadau muhimu, wasomi, wale wa mashirika yasiyo ya kiserikali, vijana wenyewe na pia washikadau wa maendeleo. Na tunashukuru pia ndugu zetu wa wanahabari ambao wako hapa wanatusaidia kusambaza hizi habari na vijana wetu. Na jambo la muhimu sana kwa hii washa hii ambayo ni muhimu zaidi ni kwamba inaunganisha vijana na fursa. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu tu wakati yanazungumzwa hapa na wakati pia vijana wana nafasi kule nje, uangalie zile fursa ambazo zinaweza kuwasaidia. Tunajua kwamba vijana wetu wanaishi kwa wakati mzuri sasa. Wengine ambao tulikuwa vijana wakati ule hakukuwa na teknolojia, hakukuwa na mambo mengi kama leo ambao kuna urahisi wa kila kitu. Lakini ni muhimu tu wakati tunatumia teknolojia tujue kwamba inaweza kutujenga na inaweza kutuharibia. Na pia vile vile nawaomba tena vijana tuchunge, kwa sababu kati ya wananchi kuna wengine pia ambao tayari wamefaidika katika talanta zao. Wengine wamekuwa ni viongozi wa kisiasa kwa ngazi za juu, lakini sasa wanatafuta nafasi ya kuwapotosha vijana. Mimi nawaomba vijana msipotoshwe, kwa sababu wewe unapotumiwa kisiasa, saa zingine unaweza kuachwa mahali ulipo na yule aliyekutumia akaweza kuendelea mbele na ndoto zake. Kwa hivyo tunaposikia semi za kwamba vijana wajihusishe katika maovu ya kuvuruga nchi, tafadhali mjitenge na hayo. Nafikiri ndoto yenu si kuvuruga nchi. Nchi ikivurugwa hakuna anayefaidi. Tumeona nchi zingine ambayo hata profesa kama huyu ambaye ni mustarabu kabisa, wakati kumekuwa fujo, yeye anakuwa muhamiaji. Sasa anakuwa refugee, anapata refugee status. Kwa hivyo tunataka kusema kwamba wakati ambao tunazungumza, tunaenda kidemokrasia, tunapeana fursa, tufanye haya yote kwa njia ya amani. Mtu mwingine asije kuchukua nafasi hiyo kuvuruga nchi ama kuwachochea vijana. Matatizo ama changamoto tunaweza kuzikabili tukiwa nchi ambayo tuko na umoja na tuko na amani. Kwa hivyo nitataka tu kukomea hapo, and I want now to take this opportunity with a lot of respect and recognizing the role you have given me in this conference to now declare the 8th KIPPRA Annual Conference officially open. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. A round of applause again for Waziri.